My name's Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. Man, how does this always happen this way? Man. So, I'll explain to you later on how this happened. But okay, anyway, my name's Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC with Gunmetal Crystal Edge Technology Screens. And our new company we're going to be working on soon, which is our FLE-VT site. Okay, came loose. I have no idea why the hell that happened. My cord somehow from my charger got caught up under my chair, and I don't even know how that even started. But anyway, yeah. So I wanted to make some announcements on this, but there's a lot of stuff I'm working on right now, and a lot of paperwork, and mostly all paperwork. I'm doing a lot of paperwork. So this is why I haven't been on that much, because I'm used to doing multiple videos a day, but I can't do it anymore because, again, new direction I'm taking the company. So doing demonstrations in different locations is going to require some I ain't worried about revenue we got. It's just basically just trying to figure out how we're going to do this. So I pretty much got it down narrow to how we're going to do it with the streams. Well, I can't do streams. That's going to be virtually impossible. I got to do pre-records because I don't know how the stream's going to come out. I don't know if it's going to be choppy. I don't know if their Wi-Fi is going to be good. I don't know if my Wi-Fi is going to be good. I don't even know about that to begin with. And again, I got to pay money to be in these units anyway. So we're going to be doing all pre-records. It's much safer. I need for these videos to come out great. So, okay, so we'll be in different locations. Now, as for, because I've kind of figured out already exactly which screen I'm going to take. I do want to take the wallpaper surface because it is a pretty screen. But to be practical, I mean, if I can get it into a container where I can take it from A to B, that would be nice. I'm thinking about doing it that way too. But also too, that acoustic surface makes it so much easier for me to travel back and forth with. Something I can ball up into a ball and be done with it. All right, so I'm getting that all figured out. Places to go and do the demonstrations, not a problem. We got plenty of those places all together. Now, what I want to talk about too is also too the Imperior gunmetal technology we're working on. This is not charcoal gray, because I see a lot of products, some products out there claiming to be gunmetal. You can't make that accusation unless you actually are showing that you can basically take on a actual gunmetal certified screen, which is extremely important because, again, yeah, it is very important because, again, if you got people out there who got those deep pockets, and if I can afford $5,000 for a gunmetal screen, I can sure enough easily afford to buy one. How can you change my opinion on why your product is better than a $5,000, $3,000 gunmetal screen? And you're going to have to be to back that up 100%. We can do that because, again, we're known for testing certified screens. So, for the Imperior, when it comes out, this is going to be fantastic for us to show that. We're going to have one of the most advanced screens, number one, because it'll be able to easily take on and overpower any certified screen that's on the market. Actually, the gunmetal versions, gunmetal screens, because it's now gunmetal versus gunmetal. We know our black technology has the capability, but we also want to prove and show that our gunmetal technology also too has the capability. Now, even though, yes, the black technology we developed is a little bit more superior due to the fact that it does produce a higher contrast level, which we'll be doing a side-by-side demonstration, a comparison of the Imperial gunmetal FLE versus the FLE black technology, or any black technology we make. Black technology is going to be much more advanced because, again, it can pull an Infinity 1 contrast level. Our gunmetal technology, which we've been working on for quite some time, has been literally so good that we've even matched a diamond screen. I mean, that's why they contacted me to begin with, because, again, we were developing the D4K, D5K, and D6K screen paint products, and they were gunmetal. They weren't black. So, yeah. But anyway, so in order for you to get that recognition that your product is, and this is, by the way, the reason why I'm showing this logo is because this is where it's going to be. You can only buy that. The Imperior has the right to be called gunmetal because, again, in order for you to be called a gunmetal screen, you're literally going to have to take out gunmetal technology. You're going to have to be to do that. And we're not talking about in dark environments, Gunmetal technology has the ability to be able to pull images in very well lit environments, which they should be able to because they're much darker screens. They should be to pick up can be a perfect color balance because black screens do that, but a somewhat very well balanced contrast levels and color levels and white levels should definitely be immaculate. You shouldn't come up with dirty levels of colors. Charcoal gray, because some people, for some reason, I don't know why, but they consider that if a screen's a dark gray, it's gunmetal. No, 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 no. Apparently, you have not tested enough gunmetal to know this because gunmetal screens are very, very dark. So, no. So this would be interesting to basically do. So we already got one certified here on the floor. I think I got another certified sitting in my storage unit. That is the Elite Dark Star 9, and I think the Dark Star 9 has a new version, which I'm trying to figure out how we get hands on this one. Something called Special Edition. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to get the top gunmetal screens. That's the only thing we need. We don't need anything more. We just need the top gunmetal screens that these certified companies have, and that's what we're going to put the Imperior against. Because again, anybody claiming to have gunmetal technology, you don't actually have it, because again, you have to be to show your product versus certified screens, especially gunmetal certified. Because again, if I have a customer that comes in and, like I said, he or she has those deep pockets, and they go, well, you know, hey, I can go out and spend $5,000 for a screen. Talk me out of it. We can easily talk you out of it because we can show you. Oh, I forgot that square actually kind of plays a little mind game. Not mind game, but it actually moves around. If you look at this little small part right here, it actually moves back and forth. I forgot about these squares that do that. But anyway, so yeah, you have to be to show that there's a difference between your product and your gunmetal technology versus their gunmetal technology. So let me see. Microphones are supposed to be over here with me. There we go. I must have been working on something on the desk. Ah, much brighter, huh? Yep, got that bar light put in there. Let me see. Let's go over to our channel. And I am going to put in gunmetal. So our gunmetal usually is so dark you can't tell that from a black screen. That's a very good gunmetal. Daylight has an amazing gunmetal technology, which I got to call them. Elite Screens has a fantastic gunmetal. Black Diamond, also Screen Innovation, has amazing gunmetal technology. This is why it's going to be more fun with the gunmetal on our end, because again, when we do black screens, we already know from the door black screen is going to have more power. It's going to be easy overpowering their screens. But gunmetal versus gunmetal, that is actually more exciting because again, we have something to play with. All right, so this right here is our video demonstrations on gunmetal. That's an LT gunmetal, which is a light gunmetal, because you make it much darker than that. Ultra dark gunmetal.
First things first, Miss Kenneth Burke Company's crystal gauge screen decided to make different versions of gunmetal. This is going to be 44. This is going to be advanced ambient projection.
So that's how dark a gunmetal literally is supposed to be. They're so dark that they look like they're black, but that's how dark they're supposed to be. And again, you know, you're going to have, not only is it going to have to pick up a very dark image, contrast levels, but also beautiful colors. The darker it tilts on the edge of being in the black category, but not in the black category, the much more advanced the technology is. On top of that, you're going to have some very killer white levels, because again, your white levels will drop dramatically. If you're mixing like gray, and I've seen some people in some demonstrations, and I've seen other people mix gray and black paint together. Some people have in their head that they take a whole bunch of black paint and they put white paint into it and they make it really dark gray. This is gunmetal. No, not even close. Not even close to it at all whatsoever. It's a lot more behind it than that. On top of that, like I said, you'll have to go against the certified gunmetal screens. And the problem you're going to have with those is the certified gunmetal screens can produce an amazing white level, which is just something you're going to have to really worry about. Because again, if your screen can't keep up, it'll really turn your screen dark. But that is the color of our gunmetal. But we're going to have one darker than this. So probably around next week, we'll be showing off the gunmetal technology. But that shows you the difference. See the top that's black on the container? See right here? That's literally how dark gunmetal has to be. The closer it gets to this, but not being this, the more advanced it is. On top of that, consider the fact you're going to have to do all these tests. Now, one of the tests that are involved when you're doing gunmetal screens or any kind of screen paints, you have to show basically color patterns. You have to show the difference between your product and darker gray products. At the end of the day, you can't just put a screen up there and just say, hey, you know, it works perfectly fine. No. A lot of things could go wrong in those demonstrations, so that might not even work out that well. So you have to make sure all your stuff is properly tested. Now, again, when we finish the Imperior is going to be able to overpower any certified gunmetal screen on the market. I'm not bothering with any paints at the end of the day that are claiming to be gunmetal. It's a waste of our time. And I told you before, we've had an individual who has a habit of making false accusations about his products being gunmetal. No, man, I'm not wasting my money on that. I've done it already. I've already purchased that stuff already before. So we've had Frankenstein, we've had freaking UV over here. That stuff is not gunmetal. It could even be the Dark Star 9. The Dark Star 9 beat the crazy crap out of it. No way in the world it could be the Dark Star 9. Oh no, it's just a mixture of a lot of black paint and white paint together. That's what it is. Nothing behind it. I'm not saying that people say, oh, no, it's not starting. It is what it is. We tested his paint. We had his products down here. I can show you unboxings where we bought the product, had it down here. I got a drawer full of certified screens. You think I didn't stick his paint against a certified screen to see what would happen? Yeah, it didn't do well. Certified screens have that reflective surface, which means they can maintain a very high white level because they know because the screen's darker, they have to be able to pick up. There's a sacrifice line that pops up in there. You got to figure a way how to fix it. So certified screens can generate an extremely high white level. That black diamond underneath my table right now, that thing can generate in a very high white level. Now, again, our black screens, it's not turning one of my black screens dark at the end of the day. That's virtually impossible. But our gunmetal technology would be a cakewalk. We can overpower a screen innovation screen because our gunmetal technology is extremely dark. So it does have that capability. And when you add a heightener into a gunmetal screen, do you have any idea how high the white levels jump? You see them in black screens? Imagine a gunmetal surface. All right then. So when someone says that we have gunmetal, no, you do not have gunmetal. How many certified gunmetal screens have you taken on? That's why you have to be careful about making those statements because, again, if I'm a person who has about $5,000 laying around and I go, you know what? I'm going to go pick up one of these screens over here. And I see your product and I say, okay, what's the difference between your product and what I'm about to buy? Can you show me this? Can you show me a color balance? Can you show me a difference in white levels? Can you show me a difference in contrast levels? Can you do this in a fully lit environment? Can you do this on low lumen projectors at a distance throw? Can you show me demonstrations of ultra short? Can you show me all of this? If you can't show me any of these tests, then guess what? Why would I bother with you? At the end of the day, I'm not worrying about $60 savings of money. I want a quality product that works. That's what I want. Show me why that I don't have to spend $5,000 for a screen. Prove it to me. And that's the problem you run into. They can't prove it. There's no way in the world they can prove it. They couldn't take on one of those screens even if they tried. So yeah, and with that kind of money I wouldn't even bother with you at all, period. I just go out and just go buy the $5,000 screen. Now, when they come against our technology, they ask us, can you prove that? Oh, what would you like to start with first? We have demonstrations on color balance. We have demonstrations on contrast. We have demonstrations on white levels. We have demonstrations on ultra short throws. We have demonstrations on low lumen projectors. We have demonstrations on distance throw. We have demonstrations on outside. What would you like to start with first? There you go. Now, automatically from seeing all that, if I'm watching screen paint under $500 take out a $5,000 screen, guess where I'm going at? I'm going to spend $500 for the screen paint. Or I'm going to give the company $5,000 for a screen. At that, I'm only going to be getting like 100 inches. So you mean at a gallon, I can paint a screen size at 250 inches? that, keep in mind, is ultra short throw compatible, because majority of the gunmetal screens I see, because of the reflective surface, they are plagued with problems with viewing cone, narrow viewing cone problems. So I mean to tell me I can project, I put my projector on the floor, I can put it anywhere I want without having a narrow viewing cone problem. I can take this outside. Yeah, take one of those high-end expensive screens outside, see what happens to it. Stick it out there in the rain and snow, see what happens to it. Can't do that, can you? Nope. Our technology, you can. Do you need a special screen for ultra short throw and spend a couple more $1,000s? No, you don't have to do that either, because our stuff is ultra short throw compatible. Do you have to spend the money for expensive projectors to make the image? No, we could run our stuff at 720p and still pick up immaculate image. There you go. That's why we can easily overpower gunmetal. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of tests on that. I can literally go back into my archives and pull up tons of tests on that. On everything I just said, I could bring it up. So this is why these tests are very important. Because again, you know, I've seen charcoal gray. That's charcoal gray. That's not gunmetal. And again, in order for you to have even use the name gunmetal, you have to show why you are considered to be a gunmetal technology. You jump in any forum site with any one of these guys who have these high-powered, expensive screens, and the first thing they're going to ask you is, oh, you got to be kidding me. There is no way in the world a screen paint can overpower a physical screen. We can. We do it all day. Not hard to do. You know, that was a topic at one point in forum sites when screen paints were coming up, and people were like, there's no way in the world a screen paint will ever be to take on a physical screen. They just haven't met us yet. Now we can. We have the capability. We have the capability to mimic an exact gunmetal exactly like the company, or we could go in and we could basically make a technology that's far more powerful. You see that light over top my screen? That's a commercial light. You know how much light's pushing off that thing at the end of the day? There's no faking it with the blinds or none of that nonsense. This is a screen that's taking a direct contact with this overhead light. It's eating all this light with no problem whatsoever. That's one of the problems when somebody did it. I'm not going to talk about that, but we know what they did. They messed up. But anyway, yeah, you're supposed to be in this much lighting when you show up a gunmetal technology. There's literally supposed to be that much light in the environment. If we watch a demonstration on any gunmetal screen and you're in an ambient light controlled environment, you've already told me your screen's not going to make it. You've already told me. So, when the Imperior launches, from our background, because people say, what's your background in gunmetal? How far you want to go back? What's your background in black technology? I can go back 8 years and show you beta testers testing out black technology we're developing 8 years ago. We're going to have one of the most affordable gunmetals on the market. That's the whole purpose of the Imperior. The Imperior is to design a gunmetal far advanced in the gunmetal we previously were able to display, but able to take out the top certified screens on the market. All of them. And not only do that, here we go, right here. Certified test screen. This is an LT gunmetal we developed. It's a lighter version gunmetal. You see those certified screens sitting up there? So that technology we have is not that dark. The LT was a little lighter, which could stand for light gunmetal, and it was able to knock out multiple certified screens because it had something called a contrast shifting technology, which means the screen can actually shift its contrast levels. Now, we had people come like, oh, that's got to be chameleon. No, you understand how chameleon works? Chameleon paint works. If you walk around chameleon, it changes as you move around. Those screens don't change. Now, that's the light version of it. Imagine if we did this with a darker version. Oh yeah, meters don't pick up down here in this environment. Let me go over here. Now let's get, oh, here we go. Certified screen. Gunmetal technology. Let me see. That's a 38. That's a 38. Now I can go back and look at my tests because I've done them. I can go back and look at any test I want. I have an archive full of tons of information that I can always go back and look at stuff if I want to go back and see things on how we did this and how we did that. Because I've done years of testing. There's the meters on the floor. And that's what my body over top the sensor.
As the light goes up. That's what we pick up. If I'm shadowing, yeah, but I'm gonna shadow the sensor.
So if I'm standing over the sensor, we pick up that high. Now look, when I walk away from it. That's why at the end of the day, when people sit there and go, oh, we're showing meter readings, let me explain something to you. The technology we have, meters don't pick up. They don't even register. Right now, we had to pick up a special meter because the FLEs can pick up in direct sunlight. Find me a meter. We had to look for meters that can take in 100,000 lux. There's nothing in your house that's running at 100,000 lux. If you got to Mr. Sunshine sitting in your living room, that is the only way your meter's canceling out. So with stuff we're working on, meters don't pick up. We have to get special meters for those. That's what I love about this whole max out environment, because I enjoy the fact that meters don't register. Now this is the gunmetal technology. That's the black technology standing behind it.
Price point, because that's
Whew, man, so much work, man. So much paperwork, so much paperwork, so much paperwork.
And again, like I said, this technology is going to tell you we're at 1%. There's 2 elements in this.
So I'm looking at, for the Imperior, I want something darker than our previous gunmetal, of course. And the only test we need to take out, well, for this one, we need ultra short though, definitely ultra short though, because gunmetal screens, usually if they had a special screens for gunmetal, we know that already from the door, but we don't need special screens for that. Low lumen projectors, of course, we do those tests automatically because I need to add those to our 1,000 list, 1,000 lumen list. And we want to have this under $500 for our gunmetal technology. A gallon, 32 and 20 ounces or 24 ounces under $500. Now, I'll give you a challenge. Show me one gunmetal technology right now that can take out any of our gunmetal we have now, including coming up with the Imperior. There isn't any. Literally, there is none, not one. Imperiors have FLE technology. Their things are amazing. Actually, we have a front and rear invisible gunmetal coming out soon. Oh yeah, for front and rear projection screens. It's a gunmetal technology we're working on. It can take in 100,000 lux of light. So the whole purpose of basically developing the gunmetal technology is because I want to be able to conquer that field. I do. I want to be able to have conquer that entire field, because again, $5,000 for a screen ain't for me, and I'm pretty sure $5,000 for a screen isn't for everybody at the end of the day. Now, for the companies, at the end of the day, if you feel that I'm stepping on your toes, this is business. At the end of the day, this is business. All right, can't get your feathers ruffled over this. Is business. Just going to have to come up with better gunmetal, which, I don't even know how that's even going to work. But anyway, that's not my problem at the end of the day. My problem is actually bring out a more affordable product. That's what I'm doing. Bring out a more affordable gunmetal. We have people who do like the darker gray screens. So that's why we're bringing out the Gunmetal Imperior. And I do want a gunmetal. I want one of the most affordable gunmetals on the market. Here's. So those tests we have to run, those are dozens and dozens and dozens of tests. This is a Phantom 21 gunmetal. That thing can produce in fully lit environments. Paint down screens on huge screens, all that. All these tests have already been done. See how much easier our job is coming around the next time around for the new Imperior? Much easier to do because we've done all the tests already. All the research is done. I researched all these gunmetal screens out there. All these certified screens, I know your technology. I know it. I've done all the tests. I got tests going a mile long. I've watched tons and hours of your demonstrations. I've educated myself on everything. So that way I know that if I ever have to design something that could overpower your screens, we know exactly how to do it. Years of research. So when I watch your demonstrations, I see a new screen pop up, and I watch you guys in ambient light controlled environments, we already know from the door we can take your screen. If you have really, really good gunmetal technology, real ambient light rejection technology, you should easily be to eat up the light in the environment very well, because you have a darker screen than much lighter than a light gray screen, or a gray screen. It's going to have a difficult time picking up in there. That's why the gunmetal screens are expensive, because they know that the other screens can't register in that environment because it's a much darker screen. So you shouldn't be in an ambient light controlled environment. What are you doing in the same environment as a gray screen? This is what I find interesting and funny at the same time. I sit there and watch demonstrations on these darker screens. Like, why are you inside? Why are you in an ambient light controlled environment? Gray screens are in those environments. What are you doing in there? You're not supposed to be in there at all, period. If I'm going to spend $5,000, $3,000, $5,000 for a screen, I'm sure enough going to be in more lighting in an environment than a gray screen is in there. It's the reason why I'm paying for it. Maybe it's the darker levels, but then if you had, no, that shouldn't be a problem either. You should be in a fully lit environment. Your contrast levels, all that should maintain. Your screen should be able to absorb light with no problem. So I don't get that at all, period. I don't understand it. It doesn't work for me. So knowing that already, and in the research we've already done, this is why it's easy for us to be able to take on your screens. Fully lit environment, 720p, max up room. This is a phantom gunmetal. Generates from corner to corner at 720p. We've done this at 1,000 lumens in a max out zone. This is what I picked up. This is what I picked up today. These right here are high-powered floodlights. These things ain't no joke. These things are very high-powered. I got these today because I don't have enough light. I told you I got to pick up equipment. Environments that we were used to having screens in, we're not used to being in dark environments. It's embarrassing for me. It really is embarrassing me. I had to pick up high-powered lights to pull in enough light in these environments. And these things are actually portable too, which means I can plug these bad boys in. So if I go on site and I want more light, I can actually take these with me, hook them up to the screen, and I'm good to go. So that's why I got them. Because even though the commercial environments we're going to be sitting in are going to have tons of light, I want more. It's an FLE technology. It has that capability. Why not? Why? When people sit there and say, I don't baby the screen. Yeah, you baby the screen. The minute you go in and you shift your blinds where the light is hitting the ceiling and you lie, mind you, I specialize in ambient light rejection technology. That's my field. So you're telling somebody who has years of experience in that field that the reason why your blinds are pointed upward away from the direct hit of the screen is because you want to sprinkle light through the environment. No. That means that direct light would wash your screen out. That's why the light's pointed upward instead of directly at the screen. That's what you just told me. But the other one is pointing directly, but it's not anywhere near the screen. That's literally what you just told me. I read your mind that quick. I bet you're sitting like, how the freak would he know? Because I specialize in that field. That's my field. Ambient light rejection technology. Anyone wants to sit there and say, well, he doesn't know. Yeah, I know, because we're the only ones with a screen that can take in 100,000 lux right now. So, yeah, our meters don't register in our environments. And when I see environments that I'm in right now, plenty of light, plenty of windows, but I want more because we know we got the technology to handle it. Why not? I haven't had a chance to open these things up yet. Oh, real quick. So the LED lights were given away for free with the FLE technology. Let me show you. Where are we at? There we go. That's what they look like. Yeah, they're sick. They are freaking sick. So they have this strip of freaking of blue that looks it look cool, absolutely cool. So we're gonna be giving those away for free. We're able to produce a beautiful image from corner to corner without the picture washing out or fading. Maintaining one of the things I see is when screens are trying to do gunmetal, their edges will wash out. See how the edges are sharp from corner to corner? That's one of the things I look at when I watch demonstrations, is those edges right here and here. It's supposed to be nice and sharp all the way across. Now, see how that's gunmetal? Because if you look at it, go back here, people saying that's black. No, that's gunmetal. It's the problem with I see now people trying to pass off darker gray screens as being black screens. No. You know, somebody will find out, they just take a sheet of black paper, stick it against your screen. That's how they'll find out if your screen's black or not. That's all. That's all it takes. Because I can take anything black, 9 or 10. It could be different black shade. It could be a black remote control. It could be a black keyboard. It could be a black pair of sweatpants. It could be a black pair of sneakers, a black visor. I stick all that against the screen. Guess what? It all comes up black on the star field. Should never come up gray. But anyway, like I said, if you're watching a demonstration, getting back to this right here. So yeah, the FLE is going to be one of the most affordable gunmetals on the market. We're going to market it under 500. I'm thinking about going maybe a little lower than that. I'm not sure on that yet. This is going to come with free worldwide shipping. We have never charged our customers ever for shipping. Sorry about that. I get that all the time when customers contact me and say, hey, I live over in Spain. How much is your shipping? And I go, it's free. And they just get blown away by like, free. You're shipping it free? Yeah, we ship for free. We got a good shipping deal. Somebody hooked me up with years ago, and yeah, it's been fantastic. But anyway, yeah, we ship everything for free. Especially when you're overseas and you're paying that extra cost for customers. You got to pay for the shipping costs and then turn around and pay extra for you got to go do customs. That's going to cost you more money. I mean, you're already invested in my company already. Why not? That should be one less thing you have to think about. That's why I do free shipping. Besides, free shipping is fun. I love getting free shipping. I try to treat my customers how I would want to be treated. Now, what can you coat this on? Or whatever you like. You make a screen out of cardboard if you want. Now, we do advise you do not paint this on stucco because it has that gritty grind. It'll make your screen look kind of gritty. We don't advise polyester tarps. It doesn't work well. And do not do inflatable screens. We have a inflatable screen coming out. I don't know when, but we do have one coming out. But other than that, yeah. And to show that the products work, like I said, we're going to find the top and best gunmetals of each company. Since we've had like the extreme cold weather, they've been running the trains less. I guess so, because you're basically metal against metal, and you try to break, and all that weight and all that steel. Yeah, I couldn't imagine the outcome of that. Being a train driver, I wonder how they do handle the real cold weather, because they have to travel. But anyway, let's not go off topic. My brain will start thinking something else. Then I'm gonna start doing some research on that. I'm still gonna do research on that because now I'm curious. Now and again, we don't use any expensive projectors in our demonstrations. People are asking about that because why would I? I mean, you get certain perks when you have expensive projectors or when you have it on gray screen versus a expensive projector. Say one has an insane amount of contrast, one doesn't. You don't see a difference in the shades of gray. You definitely don't see that. Definitely don't see the difference. Because again, I've been informed sites and people go, well, it comes down to this. If I got a 720p projector and it literally can do the same thing as a $5,000 projector at 4K, and one costs $5,000, one costs $200, why am I sitting there spending the money for $5,000 when I can do it at $200? So there is a difference. The only problem is you see the difference on the gray screens. You see the difference on, well, you're not so much gunmetal, you won't see the difference, but you see it on the gray screens and white screens. But when it comes to more darker screens, you really don't pick up on it. Environment I've ever seen a projection screen at. So ambient light controlled environment. We don't use ambient light controlled environment. I get this all the time. That's why when a person sat there and said, oh, he doesn't use the gain, we don't use the gain. Are you kidding me? What gain is picking up on a, what gain can you tell me right now that's registering at 100,000 lux or 32,000 lux? Meters don't register in that environment at all, period. They won't pick up. So what gain do we have? Because I know I got a 0.9. I had tons of 0.9 certified screens laying against my technology, and we were able to overpower them. We're brighter than their screens. So again, how would that even work? After we got to a point where we started generating more light and more environments for our screens, we realized and noticed that we're not even in the category anymore of traditional gains. You guys would be in that category. That wouldn't be us, because y'all guys use ambient light controlled environments. We don't require it. Not needed. I think one of the things I look at when I look at a house is exactly how much light in the environment. It's just big windows in there, I fall in love automatically. Kind of when they're like, oh my goodness, you know what we could do in here with this much light? See, as a perfect example, that's gunmetal technology. Sitting there with a chandelier in front of it and a bay of windows at probably, I looked around about 100. What size is my screen here? About 100, probably about 106 inches. My projector is sitting way in the back. My projector is 18 feet from the screen. So my distance there from there to there was 18 feet. Now, when I watch demonstrations against certifies, I don't see you doing these kind of demonstrations. This is what I base on my search. I'm expecting to see a $5,000 screen generate in an environment like that. If you can't operate in that environment, that means we can take your screen. See all the light we have in the environment, nice and bright? Commercials, all that good stuff. So I can have light passing through my windows. I got the veneer blinds, so that way, veneer curtains, so that way light can pass right through, because you can see objects on the opposite side. Got the chandelier hanging up there. Picking up a nice deep blue from corner to corner, no fade, no washout. Anywhere I go, that screen's supposed to pick up. I should never walk in an environment and that screen should wash out on me. At 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I come downstairs, I can watch my screen. Maybe back there watching birds. So you can go back to where.
Anytime you see someone displaying a contrast demonstration, it should always be done.
ViewSonic PA, oh, that's a 600 by 800 res projector, 720p. So projector I'm using in the demonstration is the PA503S. That is the 600 by 800 720p projector. Cost me $150, I think, for that projector. 150 bucks. See how the red sun washout? So this is the gunmetal we're going to bring out under FLE will be 4 times more advanced than this. This will be nothing to what we're bringing out. This is just to give you an idea of when we talk about that we have experience in gunmetal technology. This is showing you what we have. You can go to my YouTube channel. Just type in gunmetal. It'll all pop up, and you'll see exactly where our tests, demonstrations, all kinds of stuff we've done with gunmetal. This is the reason why I had a kitchen drawer stacked full of certified screens, because I was doing research.
This is all from a projector that cost me about 150 bucks.
Yeah, I was right on 150 bucks. Cheap with my memory scares me sometimes, it really does. 150 bucks. How many projectors I purchased? I know every last projector I've actually bought. $150 projector.
From a projector that cost me about 150 bucks. That's it for the projector.
That's what I paid for
it's
it.
Only 800 by 600 SVGA. That's it.
800 by 600 SVGA. At 18 feet from a screen. Screen's about, I say about 106. It looks like the Elite screens. Edgeless, it is. So it's about 106 inch. So that's the Elite screen that I bought white and converted it to our gunmetal technology. And I can sit in a bay of windows, as I said. I can back up everything I say. Lights on. And 18 feet back. This is how gunmetal technology is supposed to react. And this technology we engineered here was like under 500 bucks. So how are some of you in these ultra dark environment, very poorly lit environments on ultra short throws? If you're in an ultra short throw projector and you're in an environment that's that dark, there's a lot of problems with your screen. There's a ton of problems. You have no distance throw. That's why I try to tell people in the day. The first red flag you'll see in any screen paint demonstration, any projector demonstration, if they're running ultra short throws in the environment and that environment is dark, there's a problem with the screen. Nothing's wrong with the projector. The screen is having issues. The reason why? You got no distance throw. You're literally sitting on top of a screen with 3,000 lumens. That's like if you take your projector disconnected from your ceiling and you move it all the way up to your screen at a foot. You can have lights on, lights off all day long in there. It doesn't make a difference because you have no distance on it, which means you're not going to lose too much of a lumen count, which means you're going to be to pick up a much more stronger, brighter lumen strength due to the fact that there's no distance on there. But at 18 feet from a screen at was it 3,000 lumens on that projector? About 3,000 lumens? Yeah, you're not going to have much by the time you make contact with that screen. And mind, that screen is 106 inches sitting in a bay of windows, and the windows are just as tall as the screen next to a chandelier. So how much light, how much lumens do you think you have left by the time you travel 18 feet? Mind you, it's in 2 rooms. So actually, they call that 1 room, but I consider it 2 rooms. So it has to travel through 1 room, which has tons of light, and it has to hit the other one through a chandelier and windows and still maintain. So that's why I said that when you watch an ultra short throw demonstration and it's in a poorly lit environment, this is why you know the screen's not going to work in your environment. That's the first red flag that pops up, first thing we see. You have no distance throw. So you should not have a problem in that environment. So if they have to use controlled, ambient controlled environments, there's a problem. One of the things I didn't like about the Elite screen demonstration, they had their windows this way against the wall. So nothing was really making contact with the screen at all, period. So the windows were sitting here and here. Ultra short throw was sitting here. They never really turned the camera around because I was curious if they had windows in the back. And they have windows in the back, that would be making direct light to the screen. So they didn't even have the blinds open. The blinds were shut. He said we're fully open, and they weren't because I couldn't see objects on the other side. I should be able to see something. So your light is traveling this way. This is how your light's traveling this way. It's not making any contact with the screen whatsoever, unless the light's going to magically go straight and then turn into the screen, which we all know that's foolish. So yeah, when you see demonstrations where there's windows here and windows here and here and here, and again, they're saying that, you know, it's light making contact. No, it's not. It's not making contact with the screen. And I told you about, check out the blinds. When you're looking at people's blinds, make sure you can see objects on the other end. If those blinds are pointed up, if they're pointing down, they're redirecting light. Light should go directly to the screen at all times. At all times, light should make contact with the screen. I'm not going to alter and change my environment for a screen. I'm not doing it. Any environment that I walk into to display our technology, I'm not altering, changing anything because I shouldn't have to. I should be able to walk in that environment and that screen should operate. If that screen doesn't operate in that environment, I'm not selling it. I will not put my name on it. I don't want anything to do with it. I will drop the product because I need that screen to function. Because again, if you do this, you handicap yourself. What if you do get into a situation where you have to have a screen generating in a fully lit commercial environment? Then what? Say the people who basically own the property don't want to budge on that. They don't want to dim lights, none of that. At the end of the day, you have to operate. Then what? What are you going to do? There you go. That's why I don't do it. You should be able to operate. And the projectors should be cheap. There's no way to why I should be going up to a person who's hiring me to put in a screen for them and say, hey, you're going to have to spend money for a $4,000 or $5,000 projector because we know we need that projector at the end of the day so the screen would work.
$1,500.
You just charge them more money. When I go on site, I don't advise them to go spend money for expensive projectors. No, we can do this for under $400. There you go. You don't have to spend all that money. I just sat there and sent the video. So when I watch demonstrations and I see these shows, CES show, whatever they have to show, and I watch all these expensive high-end projectors sitting up there, you've already told me all the information I need to know. I've studied all your technology. I know your stuff. I don't have to be the president. I know your products. And to prove it, that at the end of the day that we don't have, I'm never going to be the president of that to begin with, but to prove that we don't have to be, I can basically, with the Imperior, I can take out all your gunmetal technology and sell it for far more less than what you sell it for. Which means we know 2 things. You can't come down to our price point because your capital would implode. No way in the world they could do it. It's virtually impossible. Their capital and what they make for their screens basically keeps their company running. There's no way where they could drop to our level. They'd have all kinds of financial issues. They got investors. They have, what do you call it, board of directors and all that. They can't do that. We can. So when the Imperior launches, before it launches, we will show you the screen working on ultra short throw, fully lit environments, taking out the most expensive certified gunmetal screens on the market, and doing this for under $500. I plan to be in a lot of forum sites, by the way. And what's the best thing about the Imperior? Well, the Imperior, that means at the end of the day that if you ever wanted a high-end gunmetal screen and you didn't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for it, well, you don't have to. Just like all the other technology we developed on the gunmetal, you don't have to spend the money. No more expensive projectors and none of that stuff. You don't need it. Now, that projector has a 20,000 to 1 contrast. We turn it off. We never use the contrast on a projector. It's pointless. This is without calibrating. This is without the need of an expensive projector, without the need of being stuck in the dark. All the stuff that other great screen paint mixes or for high-end professional certified screens would have you do. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more here. I really like these. Yeah, so this is the reason why the industry doesn't like me, and this is the reason why people who make these fake products at the end of the day don't like me. Because again, we raise the bar. We always raise the bar. You should raise the bar. You're paying for it, aren't you, at the end of the day? And at the end of the day, I don't want crappy screens in my environment. I really just don't. My screens have to function. I come downstairs, I should be able to read a book and look at that screen at the same time. I expect the very best when it comes to our technology. So we're lucky because, not only lucky, we're blessed because our technology comes from God. Everything we develop, everything we have, all comes from God. The Imperior is God's technology. And when the Imperior launches, it will be a technology that will have the ability to do things that gunmetal screens couldn't even wish they would be able to do. And it will be far more affordable. I'm thinking about bringing the price point down to under 400. Yeah, we could do under 400. That's not a problem. So under 400 would be anything from 24, I want to do 24, 32, and 1 gallon. Bethany would do 1 gallon because people paint their entire walls with this stuff. So 1 gallon. So imagine you could paint your wall, your entire wall, if you choose. It's up to you if you choose. Oh, it's fully weatherproof too. We're gonna make weatherproof, so you can take it outside if you want. We do advise the blacker screens for outside, but why not? If you want to take it outside, take it outside. Why not? Can't do that with a $5,000 screen. Can't be taking that thing outside. That'd have all kinds of problems on you. But yeah, take it outside. So yeah, next week we start working on the Imperior, getting it ready, getting it set up. Still waiting for paperwork. That's what I've been doing. So I've been on quite a bit because I've been doing a lot of paperwork, a lot of staring at the screen too. Actually, got a pair of these. This is good company too. You got to check these out. These are absolutely gorgeous. I got these because I get headaches from glaring at a screen. Now I got these lights up here. I got to have up here so I can see the screen better. And I got this from this company. I haven't had a chance to go through this thing yet, but this is absolutely beautiful. $26. I don't like to spend a lot of money for stuff. As you can see when it comes to my projectors, I really don't. Comes with a nice little case with it. Got these on Amazon. And these are fantastic. You can use them outside too if you want. They're not expensive. I don't like to buy expensive stuff. I'm a kind of person that, I used to go to Payless and buy myself. I love going to Payless so much. There we go. I love these. Absolutely love them. Fantastic. Basically cuts down on the headaches with this right here because I get migraines from my monitors from time to time. So yeah, I've done projection screens and I just don't have the setup for it. I actually had one setup that was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It was my portal. I had a portal office screen at 80 inches. It was beautiful. Oh, I miss that thing so much. You have no idea how much I miss it. As a matter of fact, I'm getting one in my office in my house. I'm going to get one in my house. Portal. I forgot about that portal. I love the portal screens, portrait screens. Hold on for a minute. I just got to take a trip down memory road. I miss my portrait screens. They're fun. I tell you right now, you want to do a portrait screen, cheap way to do it, very affordable. Go get a, of course you're going to have to run it through PC because you're going to have to be to change your settings in PC to do it. But go pick yourself up a $100 Chrissy LW 400 or LX. And the reason why we choose those projectors, so the projectors are square. They fit perfectly under the square. And at the bottom, there's a handle. So the ports to push out the heat are on the front instead of being on the side or underneath of it. Right, so it's on the side, So you can just set it straight up, and man, they're fantastic. On top of that, they have a lens shift. You can correctly get it right, and they're just right because you need that for portrait. It's a cheap way to do it. And they're fun. If you're going to do arcade games and all that stuff, yeah. But mind you, all your arcade games have to be done on PC. Unless you can get your hands on Panasonic makes a projector that does portrait. And I do know that the Chrissy, I can't think of the name of it now. Chrissy, I'm trying to think of the name of the projector has. No, it's not the Chrissy. The Sony has it. It's the Sony VPL FH31. They could do it. They have portrait. They can do portrait. Doesn't make a difference. I couldn't find them at all, period. Portrait projection screens. Portrait is supposed to be this way, not that way. Let me see. I was working on one that had a wheelbase to it. I never got around to building it. I was going to have a stand that had the wheelbase. We can turn the stand, put it back in the portrait, and change the landscape, but I never got around to building it. Let me see. That was the best one. Worst screen I rebuilt for basically for office, 150-inch screen. Never doing that again. You have any idea how big a 150-inch screen is? I literally had to have a chair to slide back and forth to see exactly where I was writing on the other end, which is too much of a headache. Oh, is this in the gaming room? Portrait screen, portrait screen, portrait. Let me see if we can find one in here. Portrait. Is it vertical or horizontal? Hold on a minute. I have no idea how that's going to come out. It should be on the portrait. Let me find one. Yeah, these projectors do it right there. I don't even know if I put it down as, let me see, 106. We have one at 106 inches. I don't know if that's going to come up or not. It's a lot of videos in here, people. Yeah, this is it right here. It's one of the 106-inch. It's a 106-inch portrait screen.
Because keep in mind, this projector over here does VGA, but I want everything to HDMI. So I'm going to be running probably the GTX 1050. And then the wireless network card, which I'm going to install in. Give it a nice light up keyboard and mouse.
See the color of this right here? This is gunmetal. I'm showing off right here. In this room, next room.
This screen's going to be nothing but information.
That's gunmetal, not black. And a lot of people look at that and think that's a black screen. Like, no, that's an actual gunmetal technology. If you look at this, look at the chairs, look at the border around the screen, look at the computer on the floor. It doesn't match the screen. That's a gunmetal screen. When we showed them off, people already thought they were black screens. They're like, no, that's not black. That's nowhere near black. There we go. That's the portrait. I had one of these in the office. It was absolutely fantastic. The only problem is, from time to time, that most websites don't support it. That portrait mode, they don't support it. Well, not most, but PayPal doesn't support it. That was a headache to get around that one. But other than that, Wix doesn't support it. Other than that, it's fantastic for gaming.
Other than that, yeah.
But a cheap way, if you want to do one of these,
I don't know who's the guy who does these videos.
It's 106 inches, so all you would need is probably about the 20-ounce kit to do it. And either you want to build the frame, it's pretty much just 106 inch, but it's actually turned upward, as you can see. You do have to have it at 16:10, which works best at 16:10 aspect ratio, and it's best if you have a projector with a lens shift. And you got to keystone it just a little bit and pops in place. That's it.
Yeah, these are beautiful videos, man. I love it.
Got another one
Now
downstairs.
I'm thinking about buying the projector now. I want to think I might buy the projector. If I buy the projector has all the software and everything in one. Oh yeah, I forgot about the freaking projector.
This is projector mapping I'm doing downstairs. I can see that. So this is about a 100-inch screen turned this way. But if you do it at 16:9, it doesn't work well. You have to do it at 16:10 in order to get the portrait to work well correctly. This is when I just walking around the house, wasn't I? Oh, yeah, lights on again. See? That's how your screen's supposed to operate. So when I'm in the environment, if my lights are down like this, I should be able to come in and turn my lights on and watch TV. Anywhere I'm at. Those lights are supposed to be the function. See? That's my 235.1. 235.1 at 158 inches. And that's the portrait section, portrait screen. So when I'm working in the environment, all my screens are supposed to function. I should never ever have to walk in a dark environment and pull a screen up. The ceiling's a projection screen. I had somebody comment one time, like, why is your screen black? They thought the ceiling was black because we were using it to basically to absorb light so the screens could actually generate higher white levels. Like, no, that's an actual physical projection screen sitting on top of the ceiling. So when I turned it on and he saw the image pop up, yeah, man, no more trolling for that day for that young fellow. Yeah, that's an actual projection screen painted around a light fixture. But, yep. Now, you see all these projectors here? For the gentleman out there, guess what? That's what you have to have in your arsenal. If your testing screen paints out, you need this and much, much more. Mind, this is not considered the projectors I got sitting in the basement and the projectors that are literally throughout the entire house. You literally need that many projectors for testing. If your stuff hasn't been on that many projectors and some, your product's not good. It's not going to work. You're going to have all kinds of issues that are going to pop up. Each one of those projectors project differently. You have all different form of specification. This is why when you stereotype your projectors to one projector over and over and over again in every single demonstration, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a high failure rate. And the reason why you have a high failure rate, because not everybody's going to operate as the optimal or whatever projector you're using in your environment. It's not going to work. If Franklin down the street has a 720p projector and he bought your product at the end of the day and you're using a $4,000 machine that has a 2 million to 1 contrast, your contrast is going to be quite different than the contrast he's using down the street. Your colors, everything are going to be completely different than what he has down there. So no, he's not going to be able to achieve the exact same picture quality from your product due to the fact that he doesn't own your projector. In order for him to actually get that image, he's going to have to go in and spend money for a more expensive projector in order to get something or better. Where our technology is tested under oodles of projectors. So we know it works well on oodles of projectors. We don't typecast. That's why in demonstrations, you would see me swap my projectors out at will. So you have to have all these machines are needed. At the bottom here, we got a whole stack of 800, 600 lumens. So not 800. They're like 3,000. That right there is Old Faithful right there at the bottom. That's my laser Casio projector. That's NEC 1150. There go two ultra short throw Epson projectors over top. That's a Mitsubishi right there. That's a two Christie projectors, and that looks like an Optima. It's an Optima, and then I got projectors on that side too over there. I had InFocus. I had all that. Sharp, all those projectors. Somebody said you should make a list of the projectors that your screen paints are compatible with. We do. We have them on the site. You can go over the site and see what projectors we've used. Most projectors you run into for companies are Christie's, because Christie's are used a lot in demonstrations for company use. Well, yeah, you literally have to have that many projectors. You have to have a ton of projectors to do it. Now I'm going to be doing demonstrations on some portable kits I got coming out. And I got to go buy a whole bunch of portable projectors. All right, so glad we had this chat. Can't wait for the new technology to come out, our new gunmetal technology. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be very, very, it's going to be nice. Them days going to be nice. Let me see. That's pretty much it. I don't want to run too much of your time, people. I'm pretty sure I got a lot of things. You got a lot of things to do. We got a lot of things to do. You know what I mean? Oh, this is a wallpaper surface. I'm just going to just look at this real quick. I got a little time in. Okay, how we doing out there? First things first. My name is Kenneth Bird. That's a wallpaper surface.
4K screen paint using ambient projection technology gain. This right here is a Supreme 8 wallpaper projection screen. It's actually going to be shipped out today. I do like to show off the screen, customer screen from time to time. So how clean the color comes up. That's on the max ozone. Before we even knew it was a max ozone in there. The meters weren't picking up. We didn't use meters in there at all, period. Yeah. That's going to be using on site. I'm using one of those. Yeah. All right. I got a lot to do, people. I got orders to process and get our customers taken care of so everybody's good to go. And like I said before, our goal is to basically design a product that's going to be affordable for our customers, again, without spending tons of money for expensive projectors, because you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't spend all this money. You spend almost $10,000 for units at the end of the day. After you spend $5,000 for the screen, you spend $3,000 for the screen. Just think about what the projector is going to cost you. Boy, it's going to tilt you somewhere in between the $6,000 and $7,000, maybe $8,000 range. That's a lot of money to spend out for something that you will never, ever, at the end of the day, like I said, get your full potential out of it. You won't get it out of it. I see these dark environments and overpriced, expensive machine, calibrated units, especially if you're using a calibrated projector, you are definitely cheating at the end of the day. You should never, ever be using any form of calibrated machine. She read out of the box, have those huge, most changes people do in their projectors. It's a keystone, a little bit of brightness, maybe a little bit of color. That's basically about it. The rest of the stuff, they don't even touch. They don't even really touch any of that stuff in there. The aspect ratio, stuff like that. But if you're in there calibrating your machine, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Now, you shouldn't be doing that, because if you calibrate your machine and you're able to achieve a little better color, this, that, and the other, then what happens to the individual who doesn't want to calibrate? So in order for him to get that image, he's going to have to calibrate. So you're forcing them to do something that they don't want to do. I've never calibrated a day in my life. I've never had to. So, I mean, I don't advise my customers to calibrate. You really don't have to when it comes to our technology, but if someone's using calibrated machines, and that means, guess what? You'll be in there calibrating in order to get that image look just like that. And no, somebody try to come in and change that by saying, oh, calibrating is basically just changing your settings. No, it isn't. They make calibration discs, all kinds of programs and stuff that you can use to calibrate your projectors with. I have a friend of mine who actually specializes in projector repair and all this other crazy stuff. As a matter of fact, I sent over to him the Chrissy LX700 because, again, I was having some problems with not getting that thing adjusted right, because there's something wrong with that lens in there. It's just not right. And I'm not opening it up because I don't have the experience in that field, but he apparently does. So he's over at his house. He's working on it. It's a 6500 lumen projector. We did change out the lamp, but it was more than a lamp that needed to be fixed on that thing. But other than that, yeah, you shouldn't have to calibrate. It should be easy for the customer. Painting the screen shouldn't be a headache. It should be very easy to paint a screen. If you have to go through some crazy stuff to paint your screen in, it's not worth your time. Let me see what we got here. Should be one coat. That's it. And our products are one coat applications. Let me see right here. Painting a 250-inch screen. Do you have any idea how big a 250-inch screen is? And that's the reason why I tell you that when you were in the field of making a screen paint, you better make that application extremely easy, because people do not have the patience for complicated instructions. They just don't. And they don't want to be bothered with it. I, quite frankly, don't want to be bothered with it myself. If I had to do all those applications to paint a screen in, it's a headache. And I'm not just talking one individual. No, I've seen several people do this. People were doing this way back before he was doing it, before he was ever existing, when GoScreen was out, because GoScreen had a very complicated instruction for basically painting out screens. Wi-Fi off for one particular reason, because that just took a little bit too long to load. Hold on for a minute. Is Black Series edition. We're in Wi-Fi, so. We are still, you were asking about the crystal edge. So that whole floor, that's a 250-inch screen. I had to do it in folds, which means I had to fold one section, coat that, do another section. If I was painting this screen in, and someone had told me that after I got done, this is a big screen, after I got done painting this screen in, that I was just moving the paint around, you got a PayPal complaint coming at you. You definitely got one coming. Because there is no way in the world you're going to tell me that I took all that time and all that work to paint a screen of this size, that I'm just moving paint around. You definitely got a PayPal complaint coming.
Because I'm thinking I'll be painting the screen. Let me sweep it off. This is a big screen. Do one coat and you're done. That's it. There's no way in the world. Anytime when we do a fabric screens, now fabric screens, this is a fabric screen. It's already coated already. But when we do a fabric screen, we always advise you to prime the surface. That's it. Because again, it's being primed due to the fact that it's a fabric. Any kind of fabric, you should always prime first. And the reason why is because the fabric's like a sponge. It's going to soak in more. It's going to soak in less. You're going to get a blotty looking screen. It's going to look horrible. It's going to make sure you get an even coat, even application. Put the first coat in. Doesn't got to be pretty. Just paint it to the screen. You're not doing anything pretty. Just coat the surface. That's all. It doesn't have to be primer. Get anything you want. As long as it's going to absorb the screen. Do your first one. Let it dry. Hit your second one. And you're done. You apply your application. And you're finished. That's it. That's why your screen's not absorbing a ton of paint. And you're not losing paint in the process. You're actually saving more paint. Now, the best way to dry your screen, if you have the grommets, we put a fan on each side. Now, I put a fan on one side. The reason why is because if you have plastic underneath your screen, I'm not worrying about jacking the floor up, but if you have plastic underneath the screen, what's going to happen is you're trying to dry the screen where the fan air is coming down this way, it's going to take forever. Due to the fact that underneath your screen, you have all this paint that's basically just sitting down there like a little small lake. It's just going to be completely saturated from one section to the next. So what you want to do is you want to get air up under the screen. So that's why you take a fan, a box fan, you tie a string around the grommet, tie that around the handle of your fan, and you put something in each side because it's a heavy, the screen's going to be heavy, it's going to have paint on it. So it's going to push that fan down. So put something heavy against the fan to support it. And when that air blows under the fan, it's going to dry all that paint underneath of it and push the air up. And that's going to cause your screen to dry even faster. You can paint a 250-inch screen. It should take you less than a day to do it under our methods. Now, after you get done sweeping this all down,
You have to know exactly what you are
fan box
talking
fan
about.
sitting there in the corner getting ready.
Some trouble on your hands. There's plenty of people just like me all over ABS forums and different forum sites, and every place else they're going to question your product. You better be the back.
Now that's painting the screen. That's not pushing paint around. You see the size of that thing, it's huge. So that's basically painting the screen. When you're applying that application, you're painting it. You don't have to worry about what do they call it? I can't think of the name of it. You don't have to worry about basically having a perfect application on the roller, blah, blah, blah. We don't do that. You don't have to worry about going over it lightly and then going over it heavy. No, just paint the screen. That's all you got to do. That's pretty much it. All that other instructions, that's crap. Just paint over the screen. And we've been doing that since day one, since we had digital and crystal screen paint. You got some people are going to be heavy on the roller. Some people are going to be light on the roller. You can't tell them that they have to go on the screen lightly. What do you mean by lightly? And then if they basically feel that they didn't go light enough, they could basically feel they messed the screen up. No, just paint the screen in. Your kids can paint that screen in. Heck, if you had a monkey and you could train him, he could paint the screen. It's very easy to do. So it's no worrying about light application first, slow roll, barely touching the screen. Just paint it. There's no way in the world I'm going to sit there and paint that entire thing and find I have to go over that thing multiple times. We are not doing that. I actually prefer rolling a screen in than spraying it. It's much more relaxing. Now, when you get to those corners of a grommet screen, you're going to have to put some pressure on it. Not a lot of pressure on it because you want that paint to soak in there.
So much easier than rollers, man.
It's much easier to roll. I love rolling. I mean, you can spray if you want, but I prefer to roll. Paint has to have extremely good coverage.
It's beautiful. So it's beautiful with our paint. Mary still loves it. I mean, we don't have any problems with the paint. This is nice. Nice roll. Nice roll. say, this company ever wanted to endorse me or whatever, I would do it for free.
Oh, the
This is
rollers.
the best roller I've ever
Found
used
out
in
the
my
best
life.
roller ever.
It's amazing on my paint.
Where did I buy that roller from? It was from Sherwin-Williams. Best roller ever. Any roller I've ever used. I got to remember what that roller was. I'm going to go get me some more of those. If they charge me $30 for one roller, even though they don't, I would pay it because that was the best roller ever. I bought a pack of those things. And I realized when I was in that house, I mean, I got a lot done in that house, a lot done, as you can see, but it was time for me to go. I need to break out and do different things. That's something I love it up here so much. Everything's so well networked up here.
You see the insane difference. The previous screen was a 39 Black Widow. This is Black Series. Black Series is far darker than the 39 and 44s. Yet it produces a higher white level than the 39s and the 44s. It produces much higher color than the 39s and the 44s.
Woo! Yeah, I'm gonna sit there and work my behind off painting screen in forever. It takes too long. No, it should be one coat. Customers need to see good results right from the door. If it gets complicated for them, they're not gonna finish the screen. They're not gonna want to do it. Now imagine all that painting you're watching me do.
That's half a gallon, really.
If I found out, that, by the way, that is half a gallon of our paint right there. But anyway.
That's a 250-inch screen.
That's half a gallon.
And that's half a gallon. That's it. Let me show you that. See that? Half a gallon.
Now, for the person I know is going to be bothered by this, let me explain something to you. You know, don't take it as somebody busting on you, because no one's busting on you in the day. You have to know how to do things. You do. If you're going to get in this field, you got to know how to do things. Matter of fact, like I said, it's the least of your problems right now, but still, just talking off and just saying what I have to say, and being a person who has much more experience than you, trust me, a lot more experience, no one in the right mind is going to be able, it's going to paint an entire screen, because literally, if you're just moving the paint around, that's considered painting. It's still painting at the end of the day. The minute that paint makes contact with the surface and you take a roller and you move it around, that is called painting. So if you mean to tell me that I painted that much of that screen in, and you're going to tell me at the end of the day that I actually didn't paint the screen in, that I'm nowhere done, that I basically just moved the paint around, you got a PayPal complaint coming. I'm not finishing it. I'm not finishing it. There's no way in the world. I don't want to hear anything you got to say out of your mouth. I don't want to hear about no instructions, nothing at all. Because in my head, if I drop paint on the surface and I take a roller and I go through it, guess what? I'm not moving paint around. I'm actually painting the screen. That's what I'm doing. So you got a complaint coming your way, because there's no way in the world. I got to go over that another 4 or 5 more times. Oh, no, we're not doing that. Nope. But when you're doing a 100-inch screen, a 4x7, that's pretty much nothing. It's 4x7. When you start reaching the range of screens of 120, 135, 140s, 150s, 160s, 170s, big screens, 235.1s at 138, actually 115, 138, 158, they're going to different categories, 178 and so forth. When you start reaching those particular caliber screens, yeah, explain to people that you, even at 100 inches, you're going to have customers like, wait a minute, I didn't paint the screen yet? Like, no, you didn't paint the screen yet. You have to, they're just moving the paint around. You're getting the surface saturated. You're like, nope, we're done. They're gonna file a complaint against you. What he's trying to achieve is making a product sound like it's very complicated to apply, makes it sound like the product is basically like very, very high tech. It's a very, very high tech piece of the product at the end of the day, because it just takes the instructions so much. They feel, sometimes you feel the more the instructions, the more advanced the product's going to be. No, no, no. You don't want to do that, because people did that back when Goose Screen came out. They had all these sort of complicated instructions. It became a headache. We came out there and painted the screens in 1 hour or less. That's why if you look at my digital one crystal screen paint videos, you will notice that they're marked as in you can paint over any surface you want. You could, you have 1 hour or less, you can paint the screen in. Yeah, because that's how we made it big then at that time. Our product got put on the marker because everybody else was doing this freaking multi-application, light roll, heavy roll, then light roll and sand and oh man, you crazy. And no way in the world. I actually had to paint in a goose screen. So before I can talk about a product, I had to go buy the product and paint it in. It wasn't a fun experience. Now the goose screen they got now is much more easier, better to apply. It's a 3-coat application. When I read through the instructions and I go, ooh, they narrow it down. I'll take three any day over what the instructions used to be. So they did a better job. But still, most people want to do 1 coat. But at least with goose screen, when you do apply the product, you are physically painting the screen. I don't know what the heck he was thinking when he said, just move the paint around. No, we're not doing that. That's a lot of work. So what if someone acquires you about a 250-inch screen or a 300-inch screen or a 400-inch screen or a 500-inch screen? How are you going to be able to tell them that, hey, look, all right, you're going to have to buy a lot of your product because you don't sell gallon sizes. So say they buy a bunch of your paint. They get it over there, especially most people get a painter. They hire a painter to do it. And the painter says, okay, how are we painting this down? You explain that instructions to a painter, he's going to laugh at you on the phone. Like, oh, no. We're not doing this.
Sizes.
That's just too much work.
It comes in a gallon, and it comes in 50 ounces.
Which I find interesting too, because when Jamie sprayed the screen down,
They come in.
he didn't do any of the instructions either.
You're gonna have to change
I didn't see any multiple coats being put on, nothing at all, period. So that's kind of confusing when you think about it.
Quick.
What's the point of having the instructions on painting the screen down and spraying it is faster? Because he didn't go through all that. Neither did the other one. The other one didn't do those instructions either. He didn't do them either when he painted the screen down. You did more instructions than they did.
A little bit right there. So we still got paint left over. I got enough in here knocked over that I can repaint my 150-inch outside with no problem. Still have more room.
So yeah, it's a lot of questions behind that. Most people are going to roll it in. They're not going to spray it. Reason why? Because some people feel they're not experienced enough to handle a paint gun. That's the reason why they're going to stay away from it. And number 2, they don't want to spray a screen in their house. They don't want to do it at all, period. They want to roll it in. I've noticed that when we developed screen paints that were basically spray on only, they sold, but not as high as the ones that sell when they're just roll on. That's easier. So there we are. Painted in a 250-inch screen. Yep, 250-inch screen. Fast and easy. I have this on the site. You can watch me do the whole thing again. Fast and easy. We're done. Screen's already painted in. But if I had bought that product and, you know, if I had to make my own screen paints and somebody had told me on the phone.
That's what you want, you know?
He had, yeah, just sat there and said, you don't want to sit there forever and paint a screen.
What, you know? You don't want to be sitting there waiting for that to paint a screen. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody.
Nobody wants to do that. It's just it's truthful. I mean, they could take it as, oh, how am I slandering you in any way? You literally just repeating. I swear, people will sit there and complain about the dumbest things, I swear. It's right there in the demonstration. It clearly shows you basically taking forever to paint this screen in. So, again, at 250 inches, if I'm painting this screen and I buy all this paint from you and you tell me at the end of the day that, and I contact and says, hey, look, our screen, as a matter of fact, one of the problems on the screen was changing colors. It was changing colors on camera. So if I'm contacting you back and say, hey, this screen's changing colors on me, what's going on here? Like, am I done here? Am I finished? And he'll ask, like, did you put the first application? Yeah, I did. He said, well, basically, you didn't paint the screen. You're just moving the paint around. Yeah, you got a PayPal complaint coming. Because I don't want to hear anything else from you. I do not want to hear anything else from you. Everybody has painted before sometime in their lifetime. You imagine if you go to Home Depot and you buy paint and you paint your entire living room out and you go, huh, it don't look right. And you contact them, they go, oh, no. You didn't paint your living room. You just moved the paint around. You want your money back. It's too much work. That's a lot of work. So when we get done here, painting this in. I had the fan on the side, did I not? Yeah, I did put the fan way on the side, did I not?
Honestly, running like crazy. Like it wasn't leaking, it was just running. You got these speakers.
All right, so right here, see how we have the speakers blocking each side. You got to put something heavier because that screen will pull that fan right down because it's a big screen. So you see how the grommets are tied here, and they're tied here to the handle. So when that air blows, it's going to blow under the screen. I already know that the floor is saturated with paint. Now, if you lay the fan in front of it like this, what's going to happen is air is just going to hit here. It's going to take forever to hit the bottom, and the bottom is going to take forever to dry. So this is the way you do it right here. So when that air blows underneath of it, you're going to see this, the screen start to lift up, and as it lifts up, it's going to dry from underneath and push the air up. Dries it 10 times faster. You only need one fan to do it. At 250, one fan.
The plastic is going to be saturated. There's going to be so much wet paint down there. It's going to take forever for the paint to blow over top and seep down into the screen. It's going to do it. All that saturation will take forever for that to dry. So what you want to do is you want to put the fan so that the airflow is traveling under the screen, and that way you're drying that saturated paint and it's pushing the air up at the same time, drying your screen even faster. Now, if you want to do it even quicker, you can put a fan on each side, knock it out in no time at all. We just need one. One will do the job. And that's it. That's how you draw.
Now, you see how the screen's lifting up? The screen's drying that fast. So all that saturated paint, the screen's not heavy anymore. It's getting lighter. As more air travels underneath, it gets lighter, and it starts to push it up. When you come downstairs, that thing's going to be floating like one of those magic carpets. Yep, you're done. I had a system I was going to build. Actually, I'm still going to build the system for the Colossal. It's an actual giant frame that basically has these sections that we can lock in frames on each fans on each side, and the grommets tie in, and we can just knock it out just like that. Because we got these Colossal screens coming in when we do it, and this is a great system. And of course, all these ideas come from you, God. Yep, how to do this.
On your screen even faster. Because if you do it the other way, YouTube, yeah.
Now, there we go. Done with that right there. Yippee-ki-yay. No time at all. One code application. We're finished. That's it. There's the screen right there outside. That's the first paint. That's what we did, paint that screen twice. Multiple times I painted that screen. Let me see. Right here. Oh. I painted two screens, that one, and I painted a 250 inch, and I went upstairs and painted another one. One code application, that's it. Because there's no point, I'm going to be going, I got two or three screens to paint in one day. There's no way in the world. There we go. Finished screen. That's my 250 outside. 11 feet high, over 20 feet wide. That thing was a monster. Took me that fast to paint it.
All right, Marco. Get ready. This is for real. King is off!
Projector using a demonstration, 270 bucks. It was a Christie LW, still got it. 401. That's it. 720p, 27 feet back. that screen. Only problem is mosquito factory out back. It's literally mosquito factory out back. You have no idea how bad the bugs are out there. It's freaking unbelievable. Like, a matter of fact, I think a few people did hear when I had the freaking bug whacker out there. Someone thought I was actually popping popcorn out there. I was like, no, those are actually bugs flying into the bug whacker out there. It's killing them left and right. Well, it's a fun screen. Yeah, this is where we actually gave away free paint sprayers. All right, people. Well, that's basically about it. I got things I got to do. I got to get these orders done and get my customers taken care of. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. We're going to have these colossal screens coming up pretty soon, but on top of that, we got that gunmetal technology, which I can't wait. So we're going to do it under 400. So it'll be like anywhere from 24 ounces, 32 ounces, and the 1 gallon. As you can see, we're able to paint that screen at 250 inches easily with 1 gallon. That's why I told you at the end of the day, you have to do the paint downs. You have to. They're very important. You can't make accusations that your product is painting these certain size screens. You can't do that. You actually literally have to do paint downs, and you have to go heavy on the screen. So, you know, all customers are not going to go light coating. You know, for instance, let me explain something to you. That 250 inch screen you just saw me paint in. Can you imagine if I painted that screen in with the instructions that the other fellow was telling you to do, to paint it diagonally across the screen? You know how much of a headache that would have been to paint it that way? That screen's over 20 feet wide. There is no way in the world I'm going to have a roller. I'm going to have to get a long handle to stretch it. No, it's just too much of a freaking headache. You have to go all over the place with those screens. They're just huge. And you should be able to do that. There should be no streak marks, no problem whatsoever. If you got to do the up and down robot formation on a screen of that caliber, it is going to kill you. It is literally going to kill you. Even at 150, even at 180 inches, it's going to kill you. It's too much work. There's no way in the world. 180 inch. Outside. Black. Yeah, it's going to kill you. It's definitely going to kill you. It's too much work. It's 180 inch. If I painted in a 250 inch that easy, this thing is nothing to paint in. This is on my Sony DPL FH30. That projector cost me $300. Screens are cheap. You pick them up over at Amazon. Well, I use my wholesale license for a little bit more cheaper, but they're cheap. That's a canvas screen coated with our technology. Did the 2-coat application for the paint, and then put our product on it. 1 coat and done. And when you're putting the primer on or whatever paint on it, you don't have to go with anything special. Pour it on the screen. Just go over the screen. That's it. No up and down robot formation. Paint in any direction doesn't make a difference. When you're painting the screen in, paint in any direction. It doesn't make a difference. Got the black levels come up 100%. That's why I said when it comes to outdoors for this summer, man, we're going to try to take over that. Definitely going to try to take over that whole field. Now you can see if you look at the black levels, right? This is the black level that you can't achieve on a white or gray screen. You're only going to be able to pick this up on a black screen. So when I got customers that contact me about this screen right here, and they'll ask questions on how you do it, we pick them out a projector. Not going to cost them a lot of money. Projectors like under 200 bucks. You don't need a lot of money for a projector. That's basically about it. You get a 4,000 projector for around 200 bucks. 250, 260, 270, not a lot of money. And we direct them where to get the screen from. We get the screens over on Amazon. You pick them up. We got them over there. They got them for $95 and so forth. As a matter of fact, that a 250 inch screen is around $130 around that price. That's basically about it. And then we tell them that, look, you know, all you have to do is put down 2 applications, a primer or any kind of paint. Doesn't make a difference. Just let it absorb. Show them the fan system. Dries it in no time at all. Do not paint this outside. There's so much dust and stuff outside. It will land on your screen. That'll mess it up. Just keep it inside if you can, or under someplace where you can't get anything outside on the screen. And That's basically about it. So pretty much they could build a whole entire theater system for like pretty much under like $1,000, probably that's cheaper than that. My 250-inch screen altogether, yeah, way under $1,000. And that's way under $1,000. And you got people sitting in their living rooms and they got projectors that cost $3,000. They can't even do any of this. Not this. They're not taking that screen outside. That's why I said when I saw his screen supposed to be outside, no, your colors are your contrast was way too dark. See how bright that blue pops up? It's supposed to be clean. It was too dirty. That's how I know it was black paint in it. A lot of black paint. So that symbol pops over, it's loading. That's all supposed to be crisp and clean. White levels are supposed to be fantastic. That's an 8, isn't it? I think it's an 8 sitting up there. Yeah, this is a Supreme 8. To the media bars at the bottom, there's the media bars. They're supposed to be black. They're not supposed to be gray. I say that because I've literally had people watch people in demonstrations will try to convince you that the media bars are black, but they're not. They're gray. Or cinema bars.
Almost at range. Hit the target dead center. As many runs as we can get. Approaching target. Dispatch finish weapons. Yes, General. All right, let's line it up.
Now, when I said they were outside too, when you're doing demonstrations like that, my screen's 180, way bigger than the demonstration you showed outside. Like I said, I'm an expert in the field of ambient rejection technology. So I'm at 180 inches. My projector is way in the back, right? It's about 18 feet sitting back. You see the time of day I'm sitting outside right now? That's when I looked at the demonstration. When I looked up and I saw that the sun was going down, it was around dusk. You already told me from the door, your product can't function in that kind of environment. It won't pick up. The white levels are poor. So we could tell black paint usually gives off that reaction because it basically can't pick up white light. And that's how I know when I watch demonstrations where I see screens are being shot at certain time of the day. We see that dust, that sunrise popping up. That lets me know automatically from the door that screen's going to have a problem functioning outside. Yeah, you read all that. That's when when he faked the demonstration on his product. You know, the surface, he painted it black. We all know that paint doesn't come out that dark. But when he painted the surface that way and how dark it was, when he kept looking up, you could see that the sun was going down. It was sunset. That's not sunset. It's in the middle of the day.
There's light, we got a chance. Guys, we got a lot of company.
Like I said, still take time out, so it's around, let me see on my cell phone, we're around 7:03.
And keep in mind, my floods are not set for we're not set for basically for timing. Them things are on 24/7. Sometimes I leave the floods on by accident. Maybe reason why my electric bill is so high.
7:04.
Yeah, that's the 180 black. Hey, Sherlock. 150 inch outside. So the the difference between my grass here and my grass there? That when I had the 180 inch, I just moved in there when I had the 180 inch. We had bald spots all over the place. My neighbors were asking, like, how did you get the grass that green like that? We used no chemicals, nothing. We fed the animals. That's what we did. That's all animals defecating and all that stuff. You don't smell it when animals do that, but yeah, that's where they're from. I fed the squirrels every single day for like freaking 3 years while I was there, and that's what happened to the grass. It grew in. My grass was thicker than my neighbor's grass, and he paid money to do his grass. Look at that. See how clean that image comes up? We always do a little something extra when we do these videos. I like to add something extra and do it. That's how your screens are supposed to be functioning, inside and out. They should react the same way. Just going to go archives real quick. That's the 150 inch, dual 150s. These are the duals. 250 side by side. One's 720p, one is 1080p. Now look what time of the day it is. See?
My projectors we have here.
Ain't got no sunrise coming up over there. That's why when I saw the demonstration, it was sunrise. Like, oh, the screen definitely can't pick up.
First projector, we just.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed when I saw the demonstration outside. It was a joke, and the reason why I hate to say it was. If you're going to show a screen outside, doing it around dusk when the sun's coming down with sunset, that's too late. You messed up already. You need to be outside where there's no sunset. That's how you show you have a product that works. When I was doing demonstrations and the sun be setting, I'm like, nope, can't do it. Got to back it up. Can't do it because it won't work. There's no way in the world I can call myself an expert in ambient light rejection technology and I'm outside at dusk. No, can't do that. It has to be outside before that sun sets. So like in the time of the day, that's where it has to be done. Now, if I'm doing a demonstration for like a movie setting at nighttime, yeah, we do those all the time. But again, if you're going to be showing off an ambient light rejection technology, you can't be out there at sunset. Just like when I saw the demonstration with the Batman screen on top of the rooftop deck, it was sunlight. Right around that time, did the exact same in the same demonstration, right around that time when the sun's about to set, it's about to go dark. That means the screen picks up a little bit better. I know those tricks already. You're not supposed to do that. If you're going to be showing a screen off, then you have to do that when there's no sunset. Middle of the day. That's when you have to be outside. Look at this right here. This is a snowstorm. I told you that technology, eights were beasts. They were a beast. Matter of fact, a lot of the technology we have now has 8 incorporated into it. 8 was a freaking beast of a technology. That stuff could pick up on just about everything we threw at an 8. Man, they were brutal. They were good. That was good technology. But the 8s basically became obsolete at one point. When COVID hit, it was virtually impossible to get the ingredients to make it. So that's why we learn now when we make technology, we make it so it all has different forms of stair steps attached to it, where if one ingredient goes down, we always have another one to take its place. You learn from experience. But 8 can pick up. Our technology has that capability. It can pick up right from corner to corner on a white snowstorm outside.
See the individual flakes right here, fall from the screen with no problem. So we're just doing the setup.
Which this is the part that basically I understand sometimes. I got people that'll sit there in apartment complexes and be in a room doing a demonstration or having our products at the end of the day claiming that our products are coming out that dark. And we have more demonstrations than they do, more test demonstrations, more customer demonstrations, pretty much more experience than they do. And yet that's when I started to realize that these people are trolls. That's when it dawned on me. That's what I saw. They're trolls. They don't make real products at the end of the day. That's what I had to realize in 2024. All that time,
doing one live, one pre-recorded,
going back and forth, and realize that, look, man, you done did. I had people contact me, you've done all these tests, all these demonstrations at the end of the day. Don't bother with these people at the end of the day. They don't know what they're doing. They're trolls. And they are. They ended up being trolls. I guarantee you right now, they do less demonstrations on the screen paints and more demonstrations on hating us. I guarantee you. But as I always say, we're going to court anyway. So, I look at it this way. that any accusations that they have against our products, we can go before a judge. I got no problem with that. I can't wait. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see what happens in all of this. But, you know, this is why we do all this testing, all these demonstrations, not just for them, for anybody who comes against me. I have to show this stuff actually works. Dual 150 inches. Oh, by the way, not to be rude here, but 150 inch is 198 inches, not 300 inches. Diagonally. Oh, we still got them peaked on the top? Really? Oh, okay. I'm looking at something out the window, at the door. Yeah. So these are, in our demonstrations, you have to be to do these. Anytime you do any form of product and you claim that the product is weatherproof or outdoor use, you have to show this. You can't just write this down in specifications. You have to have dozens and dozens of videos outside. Do you have any idea how many projectors you need to produce for images outside? It's a freaking lot of them. And a lot. So when you show fish on this side, contrast on this side, that's why I say when people sit there and say, oh, our products work outside, man, you people got to start requesting these demonstrations, man, because again, you're going to mess around, paint these things on outside, they don't work correctly. Got to make sure that they can back it up. Let me see, do 150 inches. And of course, they get angry over it. They get mad at me about it. But again, it's not my fault at the end of the day. Well, you're mad at me because of what? Because I worked hard, I did tests. Could have did the same thing yourself, but you chose not to. See? You should be able to pull them up on your account easily. Anybody, anytime, for the customer and for the people who make products, you should have this kind of material already on your YouTube channel for the customers to go into your channel and do research.
On our Phoenix Black on a 150-inch screen. It's a fabric screen. I'm going to show you 190 degrees.
So that's a white projection screen that people buy from Amazon, and they basically hang up outside and they get nothing. At one point, I remember customers were asking us about what projectors we're using because they thought the projector was doing all the work. Oh, sadly, they found out that was not true. And the projectors are not going to help you at all, period. I don't care what kind of a lumen count you have. It's not going to work. And then the higher you go up on your lumen count, the faster your screen's going to wash out. You're just introducing more light to your screen, if any of it does happen to make it over there. Now, curious, that's a 4,000 lumen projector outside. And it's about 18 feet from my screen at 150 inches, right? 150 inches. How much you think of the lumens are left over before it makes contact to that screen? I bet you it's far less than you think. A whole lot less. Under 1,000. Mind you, we're outside. There is more light outside. Meters don't even register out there. There's more light out there than you have basically inside your living room right now. So at 4,000 lumens, there's nothing going hitting that screen at the end of the day. That screen can generate that kind of power at the end of the day. That's why I had a few people come in and they acknowledge that. The guy came like, that is quite impressive that that screen is basically generating the image like that. Hey, you, Taco Boy. Wow. You okay? Come here. Come here, you fuzzy monster, you. Oh, extra fuzzy. Oh, extra fuzzy. Look at you. Relax, relax. All right, go run, go run. Rawr, rawr. But anyway, yeah, a lot less light, less light. The best way to test ambient light rejection technology is outside. Best way to do it. You got no doors, you got no windows, you got nothing to protect your screen whatsoever. It's the best way to test it. You get a screen to run up outside at 1,000 lumens with no problem, you got a good product on your hands. You can run that thing anywhere in the house. Oh, come here. Come here. Okay. Wait a minute, people. Let's see. check on him. All right, so yeah, you gotta make sure your screen's gonna function outside. That's very important. If screens function outside, it means your customers will be able to run the screens without problem. See? If you can run the screen outside, that means your customers can run the screen outside. That's what I love about my customers, because my customers do challenge our products. I mean, if I'm outside doing demonstrations, guess what they think? They can go outside and do demonstrations too. And yes, they can. Oh. Don't eat that. That's disgusting. Why do you guys do that? That's the most nastiest thing ever. No, no, no. Get away from it. Get away. Get. That's disgusting. That's gross. That is gross. You have fresh food. I have literally just put fresh food in your portable dish. Right there. Eat that. Sheesh. It's nasty. I swear. You ever seen the Uber driver? It just reminded me. He threw up on the floor. I had to clean it up. But he was eating it. I don't know why animals do that. It's nasty. But freaking the Uber driver for dogs. And the guy writes in the review on Yelp. It's a little disgusting, but it's funny. Where the guy says Uber driver was a fantastic driver. I threw up in his car. Not only was he courteous, but he ate up all the rope. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. That's so nasty. But they do that. Why? I don't see people doing that. That's disgusting. Yeah, for some reason their mouths are cleaner than ours. Some people say, oh, animals and mouths are cleaner than ours. Can you lick yourself and heal yourself? You can't, can you? Matter of fact, our mouths are very, very poisonous. We are. We have a lot of bacteria in our mouths. I don't care if you brush your teeth every day, you have bacteria in your mouth. Your mouth is actually very, very, very contaminated. And you have your saliva is a bit of is poison. You bite somebody, yeah. But anyway, see? That's how your screen should be reaction sign. Okay, people, we got things to do. I hadn't had a chance to talk in a while, so I've been kind of busy working on some things. Let's get this gunmetal product out here. I got to go pick up some certified screens. I'm pretty sure I got one in my, I think I got the elite screen sitting in my my storage unit. I have to go get it. I want to see this for a minute. Sheesh. It's got the 3 prongs on it. Oh, these things are going to be super bright. And look at the LED lights I got here. Oh, you get 2 of these. Hoa! I'm thinking I'm getting 1 of these things. Oh, these things are going to be super bright. Look at the monsters right there. Woo-hoo-hoo. Challenge accepted. I love these. These are beautiful. I'm hoping these things are like super bright. Bow. I would love to have that set up, that freaking National Lampoon, when he had to turn on the lights, came real light like that. That would be awesome. Anyway, I like these right here. This is fantastic. And the glass. Ooh. Careful with these puppies. All right, I got to get an adapter unit to plug both of these in, and I'm going to get a chance to test these out. All right, I'm saying this for the longest time. I enjoy talking to you people, but I got to go. Thank you all for your time, and God bless. The Imperior gunmetal, we're going to start working on that pretty soon, so I can show you some what that looks like, because we already have the FLE. Also, too, keep in mind the Imperial gunmetal will only be available on our Crystal Edge page, because that's where it's going to. To our Crystal Edge page. That's where you'll be able to pick it up at. I'll put in our video demonstrations pretty soon for this bad boy. So we'll pop over to our shopping cart as our marketplace right there. Whole page got a new ramped and whole new uplift, facelift, or what do you want to call it. We actually redid the entire page, or the whole website pretty much. And this is the Imperior, and we got something else coming out called the FLE Imperior CE. It stands for Crystal Edge, but CE Gold Onyx. That's another one that's going to be coming up pretty soon. These right here will be obsolete pretty soon, so we'll be getting rid of those, and this will be the new one that will be taken over. All right, with that being said, be safe out there, people. God bless, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day or evening, depending on where you're at in the world. Be safe.